How's it going, people? The Hexylvania Adventure Season is expected to return tomorrow, September 4th, after reset. So for today's video, we're going to take a look at some of the best loadouts you can use. We'll also take a look at all of the rewards you can get from the Adventure Season, as well as the modifiers. There are a couple things I want to point out before we take a look at the Hexylvania Adventure Season. Whenever we get a new Venture Season, they always sell a new hero loadout slot. So don't forget to get that when the new Venture Season drops. Dungeons is also expected to return, and that's currently the best way to farm Battle Pass XP and save the world. And the Crypt and Lab dungeons are the two best missions to do when it comes to farming Battle Pass XP and save the world. You'll be able to get Swamp Knight as a reward from dungeons, and I strongly recommend getting him. You can also get Mermonster Kin as a reward from dungeons, and I do use him sometimes as well whenever I make a melee loadout. And you can also get Chaos Agent from dungeons. And we have reviewed all three of them. I'll leave a link to their reviews in the description. When it comes to dungeons, one of the best heroes to use are minigun heroes, and the one I prefer using is the Sub Commando Jonesy hero. When you use him with Happy Holidays, you only have to wait a couple seconds for your minigun to cool down, so you can pretty much spam your minigun ability. That's going to help you kill the husk as well as destroy the monoliths, which you'll need to do in dungeons. So that's why I recommend using him. For our support team, we have Diecast Jonesy, Birthday Ramirez, Birthday Jonesy, Ted, and Fleetfoot Ken. You'll want to have at least a couple of people in your party with this type of loadout. Another minigun loadout you could use, and you may just want to have one person in your party have this loadout, is the one where you have Diecast Jonesy as your commander, and you can put Sub Commando in your support team because he helps your minigun deal more damage, and that's going to help you kill the boss at the end of the dungeon. So you may want to have one person with Diecast Jonesy, have a couple people with Sub Commando Jonesy, and if you really want to speed run dungeons, get your Battle Pass XP as quickly as possible, you can also have one person in your lobby playing as an Outlander with phase shift. So you could use Recon Scout, you could also use Flash AC. I feel like the new Eternal Wanderer would also be a fun hero to use for dungeons if you plan on speed running it. But yeah, pretty much you just want to have one person skip ahead to the next zone while everybody else destroys the monoliths. That way they can teleport everybody to the next zone as soon as they destroy the last monolith. So you sort of want somebody who can get there quickly. But again, I would only recommend this loadout if you're trying to speed run dungeons, and even then you'll only want to have it just one person using this loadout. You don't want to have your entire party using Outlanders. But in my opinion, when it comes to dungeons, the best loadout is the minigun loadout. So those are some loadouts I would recommend when it comes to dungeons. Clip's Nightmare questline is also expected to return tomorrow. You'll receive Clip as a reward from that quest line, and she's one of the best farmers in Save the World. I would definitely recommend getting her. We have reviewed her. I'll leave a link to that review in the description. Last year, we also got Ragnarok in the event store, and I don't really use him that often, but I would still recommend getting him because he's a mythic. And once you get him, you'll also get the Slow Your Roll team perk, and that's the only way to get this team perk. And I believe Fort Nightmare's Llamas are going to be returning with tomorrow's update as well. Here are some of the heroes you can get from the Fort Nightmare's Llamas. You can get Ghoul Trooper Ramirez, Skull Trooper, as well as Brainiac Jonesy, Skull Ranger Ramirez, Catstructor Penny, Kyle the 13th. You can also get Sarah Hotep, as well as Swift Shuriken Lamurai, as well as Beetlejuice. Really looking forward to her new movie coming out. And that's all the heroes you can get from the Fort Nightmare's Llamas. All of the other ones will be available in quest lines and in the event store. And when it comes to weapons, you can get black metal weapons from the Fort Nightmare's Llamas. So that includes the Copper Blackout, as well as the Black Drum and the Midnight Stalker. You can also get the Night Owl bow, as well as the Brood Slicer. You can also get the Nightfall Spear. And I believe that's all of the weapons you'll be able to get from the Fort Nightmare's Llamas. As for the rest of these weapons, they'll be available in the event store. And we've reviewed all of the black metal weapons, as well as most of the Fort Nightmare's heroes. I'll leave a link to those reviews in the description if you want to go check them out. But that's everything you can get from Fort Nightmare's Llamas. And I believe that's everything we're getting this week. And the Wolfie's Business questline is also expected to return. I don't know if we'll get it this week, but we should see that questline within the next week or two. And this questline is the one that gives Dyer as a reward. Obviously he's a mythic, so I would recommend getting him as well. I don't really use him that often as my commander, but I do use him in my support team often. And since he's a mythic, as soon as you get him, you'll also get this Hunter's Instinct team perk. and that's the only way to get this team perk. And again, I don't believe we'll get this quest line this week, but we should see the Wolfie business quest line sometime within the next week or two. And I believe Plague Dr. Igor is going to be returning next week as well in the event store. I don't really use him that often either. If anything, you may just want to get him for your collection book. As a matter of fact, I kind of wish they would rework his perks, because decreasing the smoke bomb's energy cost feels kind of useless. But yeah, he should be returning next week as well. And that sums up everything you can expect to see over the next couple of weeks. Anyways, when it comes to the Hexylvania Adventure Zone, the description that came with it said, "Do you feel the chill in the air? Hexylvania's mysterious energy is granting Husk a modifier that reduces their damage taken from weapons, abilities, and traps. How to combat these Hexylvanian Husks? Use a short range modifier to make them take 50% more damage when within 2 tiles of a commander or defender. There are treats amidst the Hexylvanian tricks. Hexylvanian Husks have a chance to drop healing potions when taken out at close range. Use these to keep you going in the fight." So we're going to get the short range modifier with this next venture season. So obviously you're going to want to use short range weapons like shotguns, melee weapons. If you do end up using like other long range weapons, you'll want to try to keep the Husk within 2 tiles so you don't take that damage reduction. And there's also a chance they can drop healing potions whenever you kill them at close range. So that's the modifier we're getting with Hexylvania this year. With that being said, I do want to show a couple of loadouts you can use, and then after that we'll take a look at all of the rewards you can earn from the Hexylvania Venture Season. And there's a lot of different loadouts you can use. I'm just going to show some of the ones I would recommend. Usually when it comes to ventures, the first loadout I'll use is this farming loadout, at least for the first 4 or 5 missions, just so I can get enough materials and resources to do defense missions. And with this loadout, we have Fossil Southie as our commander with the Blast from the Past team perk. For our support team, we have Paleo Luna, Prehistoric Isa, Clip, Archaeologist, and Crossbones Barrett. And the thing with this loadout is that not only is it good for farming, but it's also pretty decent when it comes to using melee weapons, because you can spam your heavy attack with this loadout. And with Hexylvania having a short range modifier, it's also going to be pretty decent when it comes to getting kills. So this is definitely a loadout I would recommend, especially early on in ventures. Another loadout I would recommend is this melee loadout. And with this one we have Paleo Luna with the Blast from the Past team perk. And with this one we have Triceratops, Prehistoric Isa, Assassin Sarah, Arlene Isa, and Breakbeat Wildcat. And the reason I recommend this one is because it's a good melee loadout no matter what type of melee weapon you get. And obviously you'll get a damage boost from the short range modifier. So this is another hero loadout I would recommend for the Hexylvania Venture Zone. If you're able to get a decent SMG, you can also use this loadout. So with this one we have the Tactical Assault Sledgehammer, which is currently available in the event store, by the way. But I believe he'll go away once the Hexylvania season gets here, so be sure to get him before it goes away. But yeah, we have Sledgehammer with the Totally Rockin' Out team perk. For our support team we have Mainstage Quinn, Breakbeat Wildcat, Rescue Trooper Ramirez, Swamp Knight, and Chaos Agent. So you could use this loadout if you find a decent SMG. Another loadout I would recommend is a shotgun loadout, because obviously those are going to do well when it comes to the short range modifier. And with this one we have Buckshot Raptor as our commander with the Preemptive Strike team perk. And for our support team we have Skull Ranger Ramirez, Birthday Jonesy, Shrapnel Headhunter, Swamp Knight, and Chaos Agent. So if you're able to find a decent shotgun, you could use this loadout. Even with the short range modifier, if you're able to get a Xenon Bow from the vending machine, I would still recommend using this Xenon Bow hero loadout. And with this one we have Stoneheart Farah with the Blakebeard Stash team perk. And for our support team we have Rabbit Raider Jonesy, Redline Ramirez, Crossbones Barrett, Blakebeard, and Privateer Hype. The only thing you'll have to look out for with this loadout is to try to keep the enemies within 2 tiles, because once they go beyond that, you're going to deal less damage. But again, even with the short range modifier, I would still consider this to be a good loadout to use if you're able to get the Xenon Bow. I suppose you could also use abilities that sort of deal short range damage like Dragon Scourge. But another hero I would recommend, especially for defense missions, is a Constructor loadout. With this one we're using a power-based Constructor with the Recycling team perk. For our support team we have Thunder Thora, Base Kyle, Mega Base Kyle, Warden Kyle, and Electro Pulse Penny. It doesn't really benefit you when it comes to the short range modifier, but their bases will be useful when it comes to defense missions. Obviously, those aren't all the loadouts you can use for the Hexylvania Venture Zone, but those are some of the ones that I would recommend. Anyways, last thing I want to do is show you all of the Venture Zone rewards. So everything on the left side are the rewards you get between level 1 and level 25, and everything on the right side are the rewards you get from Venture level 26 to Venture level 50. Keep in mind, you can also earn even more superchargers by completing your Venture challenges, which are these challenges right here. But yeah, when it comes to the main rewards, you'll get the weapon voucher at level 13. You'll get the hero voucher at level 20. At level 25, you'll get your first survivor supercharger. At level 28, you'll get a trap supercharger. At 31, you'll get 2 survivor superchargers. At level 34, you'll get a hero supercharger. At 37, you'll get 3 survivor superchargers. At level 40, you'll get a weapon supercharger. At 42, you'll get 4 survivor superchargers. At level 44, you'll get a hero supercharger. At 46, you'll get 5 survivor superchargers. And at 48, 49, and 50, you'll get a trap, hero, and weapon supercharger. I'll be sure to leave a link to where I found this image in the description if you want to go check it out. But that sums up everything you need to know about the new Hexylvania Venture Zone, as well as everything you can expect to see over the next couple of weeks. Anyways, before I go, I did want to give a huge shout out to everybody who's been using creator code A1, and just wanted to let you know I appreciate you. Anyways, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.